Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I am very glad to be here on this online platform Botany for You to help you in your preparation of CSAR UGC NET preparation JRF LS in life sciences. This is Dr. Nikhat Naqvi, Associate Professor and Head of the Botany Department, St. Francis de Sales College, Nagpur. I congratulate Dr. Humne and his team for taking an initiative and his tireless efforts in bringing galaxy of academicians and life science experts on this online platform for the benefit of the student community. In last 3 days, you had a wonderful opportunity to listen to many learned faculty members on syllabus, question paper pattern, as well as different specific topics of life sciences included in the syllabus. As you are aware, there are 13 different modules in life science syllabus. I will be focusing on system physiology, plant. On an average, there are about 10 to 12 questions are asked in the NET exam. I will be giving an overview of concepts of plant physiology. If you see the question paper, there are 3 different parts, part A, part B and part C. Part A has 20 questions, out of which you have to attempt 15 questions. Each question carries 2 marks and there are negative marks of 0.5 for every wrong answer. Then part B has 50 questions, out of which you have to attempt 35 questions, 2 marks each for the correct answer and 0.5 negative mark. Then if you see the part C, there is lot of choice between the questions. Out of 75 questions, you have to do only 25 questions. Each question carries 4 marks. This part C carries maximum weightage. It carries 100 marks. That is 50% of the full marks are devoted to part C. My suggestion is that whatever questions or topics you study, prepare it thoroughly, because part C has analytical questions which test the knowledge and understanding of the concepts of the student. This is the most scoring part if you do thorough and detailed study and understand the concepts. There are questions like match the column, then the 4 statements are given, out of which you have to select the combination of statements whether A, B, C is true or B, C, D is true. Then you have match the columns also. Then you have 4 different options you are supposed to give, which option A, B, C is false or it is B, C, D is true. So such questions are there in part C, and for that you have to study the particular topic thoroughly, then only you can answer maximum questions in part C. Now coming to the most important part, how to prepare for this chapter number 6, module 6, plant physiology reference material. You can prepare from the video lectures, you can try to understand the concepts, then you can study the notes taken in the class, then model question papers you can see. Then this is very important, you have to refer to the previous year's question papers. Then you will have an idea what type of questions are being asked in the exam. And then coming to the most important reference material, I have included it in the last because I want to emphasize that this should be the first reference material for you. These are standard textbooks. Now standard textbooks are very important to understand the concepts. Now as far as plant physiology is concerned, there are 4 standard textbooks which I found to be good because the topics are explained in a simple manner. One is Plant Physiology by Salisbury and Ross, then there is Plant Physiology by Devlin and Witham. Then I found this book very good, Plant Physiology by Tays and Ziger. It's written in a very simple language, easy to understand concepts. And then there is Introductory Plant Physiology by Noggle and Fritsch. Now you have studied plant physiology in UG and PG course, but for NET preparation, your approach has to be different. You have to understand the concepts rather than mugging up. Mere superficial study will not help. For this, you have to thoroughly study the standard textbooks, and remember, no shortcuts, because in the market lot of study material is there, but then if you only study that, you will not be able to attempt more than 4 to 5 questions of part C. So you have to first study thoroughly the standard textbooks. Now I will be taking, there are 8 chapters in module 6 system physiology plant. I will be taking each chapter separately, and then I will tell you what type of questions are expected and are being asked in the NET exam. The first chapter is photosynthesis. There are 2 questions from this chapter in the exam. So you should know about PS1, PS2, then difference between PS1, PS2, then you should also know about the Hill's reaction, then immersion enhancement effect, then cyclic photophosphorylation, then Z scheme. You should know the complete pathway, proper pathway, which step is coming first, which step is coming afterwards. That all you should know. What are the electron donors, what are the electron acceptors. Then you should also know about the different pigments involved in photosynthesis. You should know the chemical structure of these pigments, the role of these pigments, then light harvesting complexes. Then you should also know the organelles which is involved, like in photosynthesis chloroplast is involved, so you should know which cycle is taking place in which part, stroma or grana. Then you should also know about the C3 cycle, the enzymes, and in C3 cycle the questions have been asked on a very important enzyme which is involved in this cycle, Rubisco. Then there are questions on C4 cycle also. You should know which part of the cycle is taking place in bundle sheath chloroplast, which part of the cycle is taking place in mesophyll chloroplast. Then another very important cycle is CAM plants. So CAM plants, you know that they are succulents, xerophytic succulents, and they have night photosynthetic activity because the stomata, it closes during the day to reduce transpiration. So you should know what reactions are taking place in the day, what reactions are taking place in the night. Then the second chapter is about respiration. There is one question is there on respiration. So here you should know the glycolysis. In glycolysis you should know the enzyme at each step. You should know the chemical structure of the compounds, that also have been asked in the previous question papers. Then TCA cycle, again you should know the structure of the intermediate compounds, the enzymes involved at each step. You should know the chemical structure of oxaloacetate, citrate, isocitrate. Then there have also been questions on ETS, where you should know the correct order, and you should know where the electrons are passing through from coenzyme Q to cytochrome B to cytochrome C to the pathway. You should know the correct order. Then you should also know the organelles involved, like in mitochondria you should know which part is involved, where the cycle is taking place, that you should know. You should know how many ATP are produced at each step, and each step in each cycle the ATP is being broken down or it is being synthesized, and then you should know how many total ATP and how those 38 ATP are coming. Then there has been a question also on photorespiration. Now photorespiration, you know that it takes place in 3 different organelles, mitochondria, chloroplast, peroxisome. You should know which part of the cycle is taking place in which organelles. Then there has been a question on glyoxylate cycle, conversion of fats into carbohydrates. So you should know which part of the cycle is taking place in mitochondria, which of it is taking place in cytosol, and which is taking place in glyoxysomes, and here the fats are converted into carbohydrates. So that you should know the two important enzymes, isocitrate and malate synthetase. Then there has also been questions on beta oxidation, breakdown of the fats. So you should know which part is taking place in what is happening in mitochondria, what is happening in glyoxysomes, and then there is sequential removal of 2 carbons in the form of acetyl coenzyme A, that you should know. Then the third chapter is on nitrogen metabolism. One question is asked normally from this part of the chapter. Here you should know about the biological nitrogen fixation. You should know the process of nodule formation in the leguminous plants by rhizobium. You are expected to know about little bit about the genes also involved, like NOD genes, then leg hemoglobin you should know. Then you should know the process of nitrogen fixation, nitrification, denitrification, then ammonification, that all you should know. Then you should know the important enzyme nitrogenase, which is involved in nitrogen fixation. There have been questions on this about the structure of nitrogenase, where you know that it's associated with the metallo-iron proteins, then metallo-iron molybdenum proteins. So you should know the chemical structure also, the role also. And then there is another important enzyme, nitrate reductase, that also you should know. Now coming to the fourth very important chapter, which is on plant hormones. There are 2 questions on an average in NET exam. You know that there are 5 different hormones: auxin, gibberellins, cytokinins. Then the only plant hormone which is present in the gaseous state, ethylene. Then the stress hormone, ABA, abscisic acid. So you should know about the role and the physiological effects of all these 5 hormones. You should know the biosynthesis. Then you should know the mechanism of action. Now previously there have been questions about the role of IAA in cell elongation. The mechanism of cell elongation by IAA has been asked. Then there has also been questions, you know that in gibberellins there are different forms, GA3, GA4, GA7. So the question has been asked that which of the following form is not a bioactive form. Then you should also know about what effect that auxin is to cytokinin ratio, how it affects the fate of the callus in tissue culture. The questions, subtype of questions have also been asked in the NET exam previously. Then coming to the 5th chapter, sensory photobiology. One question can be asked from this particular chapter. Here you should know about the pigment, phytochrome. You should know the PR form, the structure of the phytochrome, PFR form, red light, far red light, and then how the phytochrome is affecting a very important physiological phenomena of photoperiodism. You should also know about another pigment, cryptochrome. You should know about the structure, role, mechanism of action. Then there has also been question on circadian rhythm. Then a very important chapter is about plant-water relations. It is a big chapter. 2 questions can come from this particular chapter in the exam. Here you should know about diffusion, osmosis. You should know about the osmotic potential, even the formula also you are expected, how to calculate the osmotic potential. Then water potential, you should know the concept. You should know about DPD, diffusion pressure deficit. You should know about water potential. You should know about plasmolysis. Then you should know about the different solutions. What is hypertonic solution? What is hypotonic solution? What is isotonic solution? What happens when the cell is placed in hypertonic solution? What happens when the cell is placed in hypertonic solution, hypotonic solution, or isotonic solution? Then this chapter also includes translocation of water, ascent of sap. You should know about apoplast, symplast, then active transport, passive transport. You should also know the different theories of ascent of sap. Then you should also know the concept of cohesion, adhesion. Then in continuity with this chapter only, one question can be asked from these topics also. The mineral transport. different macronutrients, micronutrients, the role and deficiency symptoms. You should know how many macronutrients are there, how many micronutrients are there, why they are known as macronutrients, then what role they play, what are the deficiency symptoms. Then you should also know about mineral nutrition. Then you should know about the different theories of the solute transport, like you should know the active transport carrier concept, you should know about the passive transport, Donan's equilibrium. Then you should also know about the food transport, phloem components, then the hypothesis, source sink mechanism, low phloem loading, phloem unloading. Then you should also know about the Munch hypothesis, then active and passive transport. There has also been questions on stomatal closing and opening. You should know the potassium malate hypothesis, then you should know about the concept of transpiration, then guttation. The next chapter is about plant secondary metabolites. One question can be asked from this particular chapter in the NET exam. There are, you know that there are different secondary metabolites like terpenes. In terpenes, you should know the types: monoterpenes, diterpenes, sesquiterpenes. Then you should also know about the phenolics. Then a very important phenolics, phytoalexins, which are involved in plant defense mechanism. You should know about them. Then the other secondary metabolites like alkaloids, glycosides. Then you should know about the different role of the different secondary metabolites in plant defense mechanism. So you are expected to know the hypersensitive response, then systemic acquired resistance. You should know the role biosynthesis, especially the role of the secondary metabolites in plant defense mechanism. You should also know their biosynthesis. Then the next chapter, last chapter, is on stress physiology. One question can be asked from this particular chapter. You should know the different abiotic stresses like temperature, salinity, water, light. Then the other biotic stresses also you should know, especially with reference to salicylic acid, ABA mediated response, then pathogen triggered immunity. This you should pay attention to. Then there has been also questions on senescence. So dear friends, this was all from my side. I hope these guidelines will help you in your exam preparation, and if you have any query, you can contact me on my mail ID, and wishing you all the best for your exam preparation. And let me emphasize that clearing NET exam is not difficult at all. Only you have to study thoroughly from standard textbooks with proper planning and understanding the concepts and correct guidance. And I am happy that Dr. Humne has taken this initiative of correct guidance. This will be due to these workshops which he is arranging for you. And I firmly believe that believe you can, and you are halfway there. I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Humne for giving me an opportunity to connect with the students on this online platform. My sincere thanks to Principal of SFS College, Dr. K.T. Thomas, who has always been motivated and encouraged us to keep pace with the changing times in this digital era. And due to his constant support, our college has gone full-fledged with online classes for all the classes since May. And last but not the least, thank you all for joining me.